People, hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to another transfer stream. We've got some big stories to talk about. Also, we're reacting to a couple of clips. We're going to be live for probably about the next hour to hour and 15 minutes here on the channel. You got some football games on today as well, so we're doing some match reaction content around that. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Make sure you're hitting that like button and make sure you're subscribing. We're already on 14 likes. Let's try and get those numbers hit to 25 likes. Let's get into the stories of today then. So this is what Craig Hope has had to say this morning, that if Newcastle do get their replacement, around 130 million could do it for Alexander Isak. I have a feeling next week could be incredible. This is what I've been saying. If Newcastle get a replacement, we're going all in for him. And I still think, even if Newcastle don't get a replacement, we're bidding for him. This is what I mean, people. I still think Newcastle could buy no one from the end of this window. I still think we get him. I do still think we land him. And my reasonings and my beliefs as to why I think so are simple as this. Why are we not being linked with any other backup replacements? We know full down well we need a striker. Slot has even said it in his quotes. We need a striker. I want a striker. And that is what he thinks. So yeah, we're gonna get into all your comments. Make sure when you're joining the stream, people, you're smashing that like button, you're subscribing. We're gonna go through all the Fabrizio Romano updates, all the Craig Hope updates, all the Kidawi updates, all the Liverpool updates in today's stream. So if you want to find out what is the latest regarding Liverpool Football Club in terms of transfer news related, anything like that, make sure you're smashing the like button and make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. If everyone is doing well, we've already got 50 of you in the building. Absolutely love to see that. So let's try and get these likes up to 30 if possible. Make sure you subscribe. And big up to CJ in the house. Smash the likes and subscribe. Big up to Benjamin Super Sunday. Yeah, man, we've got some good games on today. Big up to Curtis. We signed 3 players this week. Isak, Guehi, and Fofana. I won't rule it out. Alexander Isak, Malik Fofana, Isak, and Guehi. I hope so, mate. Good afternoon. 7 days left of the window. No, I think it shuts on the 1st, doesn't it? So it shuts in 8 days. So a week tomorrow, that window will be slammed shut. Smash the likes and subscribe. Let's hope. I just want this saga to be done. I agree. I've seen Lee gonna say that a few times on his streams and stuff. Yeah, UCL draw on Thursday as well, so we're gonna be doing content around that. Can't wait to get Real Madrid in the Champions League. Absolutely looking forward to that. But yeah, this is what Craig Hope is coming out and saying around this, that Liverpool 130 million could do it, even if Newcastle just get one replacement in. He has also given a couple of more updates. I'm going to get those up for you. But while you are joining the stream, hit the likes, make sure you are subscribing to the damn channel. Now, I want to get into all the related Liverpool updates. This is what the Daily Mirror is saying as well. As it stands, Alexander Isak has no plans to reignite with his Newcastle teammates and won't feature on Monday in box to feature. I mean, we already knew that, to be honest. And it says, it is very unlikely that Newcastle sign 2 strikers before the window shuts. I agree. As it stands, Alexander Isak has no plans to reignite into the first team. I mean, we know this. We know this from the simple of the get-go. That I've always maintained I actually don't think Newcastle would have signed 2 strikers. Also, but if you are joining the stream, we're going to speak about the Adam Wharton links and what is the latest around Mark Guehi. So if you want to find out what that is all about, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Because, listen, we're going to be doing daily streams up until that window slams shut on September the 1st. We're also going to be doing daily videos as well to make sure we're keeping you lot all up to date regarding this beautiful football club. Currently got Sky Sports on right now. You've got the Super Sunday games. You've got Man United, Fulham. You've got Everton playing Brighton at their new stadium. So that's going to be interesting to see. Good morning, Liverpool. Not playing today, so going out and enjoying the day. Yeah, man. I actually wish we was playing today. I'm not a fan of Monday Night Football, you know. I don't know if it's controversial. I like Monday Night Football when it's not my team. But I will be there tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to it. We have to get Guehi and an attacker. 100% we have to get Guehi and an attacker. If we don't get Guehi and an attacker, it's kind of mad. It will be a bit of a disappointing window, chat. If Liverpool don't sign Alexander Isak and Guehi, is it a disappointing window? Because if we don't get a forward, I would say it's kind of mad. For me, this window right now is an 8.5. It goes down to a 7, you know, if we don't get an attacker, because the attacking depth is hella risky. I'll be happy and content with the midfield. I'm happy and content with the fullback's depth. I'm happy and content with the goalkeeper's depth. I still think we need one more centre-back. And I still think we need one more attacker, if I'm being honest. 1 week, I smell it as being crybabies if we don't. I love evening games, but hate waiting till Monday to see our boys play. Yeah, I've always said that I prefer Friday night. If Liverpool could play on Friday night every week, I would. I would pick them to play on Friday night because they're out the way. We win, it puts more pressure on other teams. No, because our fans were creaming themselves when we signed Fring, Verts, and Kirkes. Yeah, that's a fact. But would you not say having attacking depth of Mohamed Salah, Hugo Ekitike, and Cody Gakpo in Chiesa is enough depth for the season? When Chiesa barely played last season, Ekitike gets a lot of pressure on him to come in. If we lose one player to injury, we're playing Rio. If let's say one of our attackers goes down for 6 to 8 weeks for a hamstring, we're literally that away from playing Rio and Gamar. Now I love Rio and Gamar. I love the likes of Jen and Dans, but let's not be stupid here. We cannot be playing them week in, week out, can we? You know, let's be realists on this channel, and that's what we are. Yeah, let's try and get to 35 likes. We're already 10 away, so if you keep hitting that like button, chat, we're looking to try and hit 50 plus likes today. That new Everton stadium, it looks really weird, Everton not playing at Goodison Park. I don't know what it is. But that is a really weird Stone Island jacket from Mr. Pickford. So let's try and get to 50 likes if we can. Big up the chat. I do want to react to a clip. Simon Jordan reacts to Isak's statement and Newcastle's reply. I wanted to react to this yesterday, but I completely forgot to whip it up and react to it. So we are going to react to Mr. Jordan chatting rubbish. But yeah, people, big up to everyone inside, man. Pause. Let's try and get to maybe, we are so close to 2.2k, man. So if you can help me get there, that would heavily be much appreciated. So yeah, let's get into the clip of reacting to Mr. Jordan. Honestly, I'm not with HCBC UK, so I'm with Nationwide, so I don't know why you're showing me that. Thank you very much. Let's get
Alexander Isak is feeling this morning.
Big up the
Simon,
chat,
you
man.
have seen the developments on this overnight. This is right up your street, so we may as well
have stayed awake waiting for them, probably.
Oh, yes, probably. We may as well let loose on this now. A trading of statements between Alexander Isak and
Sonny, if you're free, mate, I'll send you the link.
Newcastle.
Let me know.
Isak, of course, is saying that's it for him. I'm out of this football club and I'm moving on. But he's saying it for a reason. But we hadn't heard from Isak until now. So then a statement came through last night. And Alexander Isak, of course, the subject of a, so far, £110 million bid from Liverpool. But that's as far as it's gone. And at the moment, Isak is still a Newcastle United player, and Liverpool, as far as we understand, haven't come back in with another offer that would be more than 110 million and might suggest that might do it. That hasn't happened yet. An Isak statement last night: when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. And then he goes on, I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself. So we took a huge sigh of relief that we'd heard from Isak at last. But before we could adjust ourselves, Newcastle were in with a statement of their own. We're disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Alex remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. And then they go on. We've been clear that the conditions of a sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee those conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family and will be welcomed back.
Big up to Sonny, mate. How are you, bro?
How are we, Bailey, my mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Are you? It's been a while since we've been on camera.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, man? I've been here and there and everywhere, all over bloody Europe and in Barca, travelling and stuff, and I finally got back to the grind now, back to reality, working and stuff.
Yeah, same. That's why I've barely done any streams myself, to be fair. But
Been working, brother, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back streaming though. Work can be long at times, but it is what it is.
I find it makes you look forward to doing the streams more, though. You know, 'cause when you're out like between doing it, when you're in work, you kind of can't wait to finish work and go and do a stream.
Do you know that the other day when that Isak statement came out, I was on the way in from work. I was like, I'm itching to get in and press that record button.
Yeah.
Have you seen this clip from Simon Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Talk Sport 1, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna react to it if you want.
Yeah.
We'll see what this man's rubbish he's saying.
When he is ready to rejoin his teammates.
And then I'll get your opinion.
So at the moment, it's checkmate. No one's budging. Just before we came on air, I get in touch with a gentleman by the name of Vlado Lemic, who is Isak's agent. And at the moment, he says he apologizes, but he has nothing to say. Maybe one day we can have a coffee together and speak. Well, maybe we can, Mr. Lemic. Simon, who is more likely to be forced from their position here? Isak or Newcastle?
Or Liverpool to meet Newcastle's conditions of sale. I mean, it's very clear Newcastle have established their position. I mean, Isak's interpretation of conversations, I don't doubt that Isak has verbalized with his delightful agent, who seems to have lots to say when he's back channeling, but not anything to say directly when he might be held accountable for what comes out of his trap. He's had lots to say about what Newcastle should. I don't recall Newcastle saying very much. So I don't quite understand what Alexander Isak is referring to in terms of people filling the vacuum. It's been filled by people like the newspapers being given stories, I suspect, by his agent. So I suspect that the reality of what's being said in terms of I've not had my say or I've not spoken and others have filled the air is nonsense, because it's his people that have been filling the air. I don't doubt
It's a
that.
mix of people.
I don't doubt. Yeah, but I mean, it's coming from somewhere. Whether it's Craig
Yeah,
Hope,
but there's
writing
two sides to it, isn't there? There's been some good press, bad press. I think what he's saying, I think my version of what I'm interpreting is what he's saying. There's been a lot of stuff said out there without the facts, and that's why I'm speaking, which I think is good that he's spoken.
Well, yeah, possibly. I mean, speaking for a social media post and I'm suggesting that people clearly understand your position. I don't doubt that Newcastle have understood that Alexander Isak would like to leave Newcastle if a very big football club comes in. What I would imagine is not clear and has never been said and has never would be named as to who it was said by, because that's very, if you have the balls to turn around and say, I was told by, name them. Name the person specifically and explicitly who told you that irrespective of conditions, you can leave when it suits you. You can leave when another football comes. He won't do it. He can't do it. And I doubt that you'll ever see the light of it. And I hope that he can point his finger at somebody and make somebody accountable. But Newcastle's statement, not just because I'm a former club owner, is probably more likely to be the position as it is, which is, we'll welcome him back. I'd be finding the backside of him, quite frankly. But the idea that Newcastle have agreed something, these players are running around now whenever they don't get what they want, turning around and saying, well, I understood this. I had a gentleman's agreement for that. I was given an assurance of that, right? So in future, what you can do is no longer rely on a contract. You can write it down on a napkin and just turn around, not even write it down, to say, here's what I think we'll understand going forward. No, they wouldn't have that, Jim. They wouldn't say, oh, my contract, my bonuses, my weekly salary, my goal bonus, my loyalty bonus, my son. We all do it on understanding, shall we? It's nonsense.
Right. So when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. Do you believe any promise was made?
No.
To Isak?
I think there was an understanding from Newcastle that his player would prefer to leave if someone like Liverpool come in. I don't doubt that the agent has verbalised that. If you're an agent and a club official sits in front of you and he says, look, okay, I'll give you an implicit understanding that if something comes along, we'll agree to it. Put it in writing. Put it as an addendum to the contract, put it in writing. Confirm this conversation that we've had, put it in writing. Well, I want it as a gentleman's agreement. Well, the gentleman's agreement isn't going to be worth very much, is it? Because realistically speaking, I'd rather not add to the contract. I'd rather you just drop me a note, a line, understanding the conversation that we just had. This conversation will be kept between us and only ever brought out in the instance that you don't stick to your word. The reasons why that hasn't happened is because it didn't happen.
There is also a chance, maybe not a big one, that he could have had a conversation with the manager about beginning of last season. It could have been like, look, give us another season. I know you, because he's saying in that statement they've known my situation for a long time. That to me says last summer.
Yeah, but Danny, a conversation is different to a promise.
Correct.
Isak is saying
but
when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue.
Yeah, that's true. And I think some of Simon's points are very valid. But I do know situations in the past that I've been in where players and managers have spoken.
But that's a very different dynamic. Everyone understands. Alex Cruyff made a big song and dance, and rightly so, about knowing this situation since February, March. He's understood it. And other journalists have been writing about it since then. So it's been implicitly understood. And Newcastle aren't tin-eared. They will have known that the player will have eyes for bigger opportunities. But that's a very different dynamic than saying, we understand your position, we will let you go if Liverpool come in and bid whatever they bloody will feel like. That's a very different understanding.
Simon, Newcastle say no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. Is that the bit you believe?
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely believe that conversations have been had, maybe with the agent or perhaps even with the manager, to suggest, given the fact that we've had this rumour going for nearly 6 months now about this player's future, that they have indicated at some point, if a big club like Liverpool comes in or Manchester United comes in, which we know they might do, we would like to leave for that club. And I pretty much could understand from Newcastle's point of view, okay, if that happens, we'll hear it when it comes.
Answer me this.
That's not a promise.
Why would Isak lie?
Because it suits him. Well,
he's not lying.
What he's doing, he's adapting what he believes he's heard.
Truth, yeah.
What he's doing is manipulating it around to the circumstances to convince himself and those around him that he's got justification for his actions.
There's actually nobody other than the whoever owns the club, who's in charge of the club, who could promise him anything anyway. There's a difference between, like, you hit it on the nail on the head. Different someone giving you a word or an agreement, but without a promise. The reality is this. If it doesn't happen, and we don't really know how the Saudi owners have not been in long enough to know how they adapt to situations like this, but probably very stubborn because they don't care about, they've got so much money.
By the way, we've got over 100 of you watching, 105. We are 10 likes away from 50, so make sure you're smashing that like button. and you're subscribing if you're enjoying the stream so far, 20 minutes in. So keep hitting the like button, keep subscribing to the channel. And yeah, I can't lie, chatting absolute waffle. Chatting.
Now, come on.
I think he's chatting absolute waffle. Explain to me how Isak is lying. Eddie Howe has even come out and said we had conversations last season. I want them kept behind closed doors because he knows full right well Alexander Isak told him last season, I want to leave. Whether that's to Liverpool, PSG, Barcelona, or even Rochdale, right? Isak told him, I want to leave at the end of the season. Eddie Howe's basically stated that in his press conference, but just wording it differently for PR, also stating, well, we want these conversations kept behind closed doors. Why? Because he knows Isak's telling the truth. What's Isak got to lose here? Like, why would he randomly just come out and put out a crappy statement when he has not said it all summer. And if he's so confident that he won't reignite with it and move to Newcastle, then he's got no reason to not actually put out a statement, which he did, which backs up everything that a lot of journalists have actually been saying. He wanted to leave, and there were reports last season that Liverpool wanted to come and bid in for him. We don't bid for players that we don't think we can try and get. So we clearly heard something at the back end of last season that Alexander Isak wants to leave this football club. There's this whole narrative that Simon Jordan's obviously going to stick up for Newcastle because it suits the narrative. And if he goes against Liverpool, it gets him clicks and 250,000 views on the YouTube channel. Like, I'm not Mark Goldbridge's biggest fan, but a lot of people that worked on TalkSport have confirmed on many occasions they don't tell what their true opinions are. They do it to suit the narrative because it creates headlines and it creates viewership. They've even many people on TalkSport confirmed that. I guarantee you, if I got employed by TalkSport, they would probably say to me, right, can you, sometimes if it doesn't, they'll ask my opinion on something. And if they don't completely agree, they'll want to twist it and make, exactly, big up to Songs for UK. They want to make it into a rage, to a rage baiting clip because that's how you get headlines. Do you know what I mean? Well, we've not seen one positive news around Liverpool this summer because that's not going to get views, is it? Being negative around Liverpool will get you views. And that's the absolute fact.
And you got to think as well, Simon Jordan, speaking from his aspect, which is he was a small club owner, he owned Palace, so obviously he's always going to side with like a smaller club. He's not going to want Liverpool to get Isak because he's obviously gone through this himself when he owned Palace.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what the last couple of minutes I've got to say, but yeah, big up the chat. Over 100 of you inside. Pause, hit the likes, and make sure you are subscribing.
But I don't worry about if Isak stays, which it looks more likely than not for me at the moment. I don't think his hurdle is with the other players in the group. They'll be fine. The hurdle is overcoming the fans because they've already started chanting.
Is Isak naive to have gone balls out, excuse the phrase, on a gentleman's agreement?
Yeah.
Because he's out there now.
But he hasn't got one. And he's being engineered into a position by his agents. And
we don't know that for sure.
Guaranteed, absolutely 100%.
Well, no, he'll want to go. He'll want to go,
absolutely.
Did you ever make a promise to a player at Palace?
No. Yeah, to Andy Johnson. I gave him an undertaking that I would absolutely do this. I got him to sign a new contract, and if in a year's time we hadn't got promoted, then I would allow him to be sold to another football club.
So there you go. It does happen.
But did you give him an amount?
I gave him a pay rise. I gave him
an amount on the fee because you could have said no a year later. Well,
no, I said
for 4 million.
I said I'll sell you for a market price. That's fair and representative.
And what was the end game of it all?
I sold him for less than I could get for him from another football club because he wanted to go to the football club that I'd agreed to let him go to.
Everton, wasn't it?
Everton.
But you won the day.
No, it was an equity. No, I didn't win the day because we didn't get promoted, and the aim of keeping him wasn't fulfilled. But the idea that we've got a situation, if this player, I don't understand it. If you are prepared to say that an official, name him.
Yeah.
Name.
He might
official,
have to now.
Yeah.
Name him. And that's when you'll hear silence because when the person gets named, if indeed they do, they'll give you the version of events that will probably be a lot more likely to be nearer the truth. What they're deliberately choosing to do is interpret a conversation that they probably engineered, that they tried to curate, that they've taken their own understanding away from, which is completely different from the understanding of the person that might have said, we'll look at it when the time comes.
If you are
now turning that into a set of assurances, nonsense.
Yeah, if you are a player, sometimes you do have to kick up to get out. That's happened to me. It's happened to loads of players I know. But I think over time, in God knows how many years, he'll look back at this and think, I wish I dealt with it differently.
But he can get out. But Liverpool don't want to pay the price. Liverpool want to. I mean, Liverpool. We value him 110.
No. I doubt it. He'll look back at it in years to come, thinking, I regret that, because potentially in years to come, he might be thinking, I wish I did do that because I've stayed at Newcastle for 3 more years on my contract and I don't want to stay. So there's many narratives you can spin with this.
And what's to say in the next 3 years he doesn't get an ACL or something happens and then none of the big clubs have come in for him.
Facts. You only get one career. The only people that should judge Alexander Isak is himself. That's it. People like Simon Jordan, myself, I, everyone else shouldn't judge him because it's his career. If he finishes his career and he's happy that he did all this to get a Liverpool move, then he's happy. Who I doubt Alexander Isak gives a toss what I think, or you, or Simon Jordan. You'd be thinking, I went to Liverpool, won a load of trophies, and I'm happy that I did all that. So, and he looks like he's a man on principles and values and beliefs, that he stands by what he said in his statement, in the fact of the relationship cannot continue. He looks like he's a man of word. He's not like he's just a regular bloke, just want to move away.
I think Liverpool...
Who cares what you value him at?
I think Newcastle would have let him go for around the 120 if they got someone in.
They might have done.
That's where we're at the moment. And Isak's agent, just before we came on air, is saying, I have nothing to say.
Except when I'm talking to someone that perhaps is a little bit easier to talk to.
Where does it go from here? When promises are broken, says Isak, and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. What promises? And to who? Meantime, Newcastle say that they never made a commitment that he can leave the football club. Where does this go from here? Newcastle fans, you must be thoroughly demented by this. And Monday fast approaches because Liverpool play Newcastle on Monday.
Jim White and Simon Jordan.
What's your thoughts on that clip, mate?
I feel like obviously Simon Jordan, he comes from like a small club aspect. A lot of this narrative in the media with this Isak thing has been like Liverpool have been portrayed as this big bad bully for even trying to come in and get Isak. It's like there weren't this narrative when Robin van Persie moved from Arsenal to United. There wasn't this narrative when Chelsea signed Enzo Fernandez. This just happens, and for some reason, like everyone all of a sudden is starting to like go along with the Newcastle, like the pity party, and like not wanting Isak to leave. I think it's more out of jealousy of not wanting Isak to go to Liverpool because if he does come to us, it's going to be very, very, very hard to stop us this season.
Yeah, I agree. I literally couldn't agree more. Apparently, Liverpool fan admits he can't wait for the transfer window to close. Rory Jennings. Let's see what he's got.
This is how much mayo chicken you get for $1.49.
No, I genuinely couldn't care about chicken mayo.
Sean, the Liverpool fan, off the back of me building up that fixture there, Sean.
You
How
got
are you
the
feeling
chat,
about going to St James's Park on Monday night?
60. Let's try. And
I think it's going to be a classic. I think it's going to be up there with the clashes in the 90s. Only a couple of 4-3 games you get to it at Anfield, but yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. Obviously, the Isak situation is probably going to make it one hell of an atmosphere. Obviously, St James's Park is fantastic anyway, but yeah, I think it's going to be a bit heated. I think it might be a flashback to the 90s, to be honest, with a few tackles thrown in. But yeah, besides that, by the way, Rory, first time I'm speaking to you, nice to meet you. I do watch your channel. I watch your channel on YouTube.
That's very kind of you, mate.
I really respect you because you're not a bitter Chelsea fan,
I have my moments, but that's very kind of you to say.
I think when I listened to your show last week and the comment you had where someone called you the Simon Cowell, I think on Talk Sport or something. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of take that. I think that it's something. I've certainly been called worse. I've been called worse today. So. Yeah.
A couple of things I want to agree with you as well. By the way,
go on.
Firstly, Tottenham fans, they need to pipe down. They've done it a couple of seasons in the past. I'm sure you probably remember already. They've been top of the league in the first couple of games after 3 or 4 games, and they start getting excited, thinking, "Oh, we're going to win the league." 10, 15 games later, they're going down, 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 down. You know what I mean? And the Arsenal tune, you said you hate it. It's up there for me alongside with Everton's tune, where they say, "We don't care what the red side say."
Oh yeah.
If you don't care what we say, why mention us in your song? It's like you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm with you. I'm with you. That North London Forever. I know. I'm not meant to like it. It's not aimed at me at all, is it? But yeah, for some reason, it massively winds me up.
Yeah, but regarding Monday, I think it'll be a great game.
That North London Forever song. Oh my days! Don't even get me started on Arsenal fans' songs because, oh god,
they're awful.
Do you know how we sing "I'll have a bird upon my chest"?
Yeah.
They're gonna copy that, you know. But do you know how we say the championship in May? What are they gonna sing at that bit, you know? I guarantee you next week they're gonna sing "You Never Walk Alone." They love copying our songs, man.
It's kind of annoying. Like, I don't get me wrong. I know we do it. Like, we do copy like certain parts of songs and then we turn them into ours. But it's just pitiful the way Arsenal do it.
Yeah, like you know what? If they actually copied one of our songs and it was actually really good, I'll be like, you know what? Fair play, okay, cool. Because every team copies songs. But you know when the song is so cringe and like just meh, it's like. Nah.
I think the only one they've got that is actually good that they made up themselves is the Saliba one.
Where they just sing where they just say Saliba?
Yeah, I know it's not like really a song, but that's the only one that I kind of think, oh, it's all right. That's a bit catchy.
I guarantee you, the next song they copy will be Hugo Ekitike's, but they'll change the words, obviously, for Liverpool. Yeah, the Luis Diaz one was so cringe. They did that for Martinelli and the LA. Oh, like the LA song is literally around a European song, right? But they've not conquered all of Europe though, so I don't know why they want to copy that.
Yeah. I know, I've always found that quite funny, the way they sing that.
They barely even conquered England. They haven't won a League Cup for 30 years. They haven't won an FA Cup for 5 years. They haven't won a league title for 20 years. So what they conquered recently, the only thing they've conquered is how to come second place.
I don't know about you, but to be honest, the Isak thing, I can't wait for the transfer window to close now, to be honest. It's dragging on so much, the Isak thing, and even Guehi for Crystal Palace. It's either the last couple of days, it's going to be absolutely mental, and it could be the most exciting transfer day.
Do you know what, Sean? I don't know if you saw it, but Jamie Carragher wrote a piece. He wrote an article in the Telegraph over the weekend, and he basically said that if Liverpool don't get this Isak deal over the line very soon, they need to walk away from it and get someone else in. They need to almost draw an arbitrary line on the end of the transfer window with regard to their pursuit of Alexander Isak, because what they can't do is chase Isak right until the very last moments of the transfer window. The window closes and they're left, as he puts it, with three forwards, that are 3 archetypal forwards. One of them is going to go away to AFCON. Do you agree with Carragher? Do you feel like it's Isak? Or do you feel like they have to get someone in, anyone in, or do you feel like it's Isak, and if not Isak, wait for the right time to get him?
I mean, don't get me wrong, Jamie Carragher, I love him as a player and as a pundit, but I've seen your video over that, to be honest, and I agree with what you said. To be honest, I don't think... I believe he said it's either if we don't get Isak, well, we're not going to win the league.
Yeah, I think he basically said if you don't get a full... I don't think it was specific to Isak. He said Isak is the dream. But I think Jamie Carragher said that if you don't get another forward in, somebody to replenish and reinforce the front line that you have, if you don't get someone else in, and by someone else, maybe Rodrigo from Real Madrid, Carragher basically said that you won't win the league.
I think it's a bit ridiculous, that comment, to be honest. I do think we need somebody else in, because obviously we've lost Diaz, we've lost Nunes, and sadly, because of circumstances, we've lost Jota, sadly. But we do need someone else in. But whether that affects us winning the league, it's a long way to go yet. Anything can happen. I mean, Saka went off injured today.
Yeah.
Will he be fit next week?
Do you know when I look at the Liverpool options, when you think about the players that they have in terms of like a goal scoring sense, obviously Florian Wirtz is added to the front line. Not necessarily the front line in its truest form, but he's a goal scorer and a goal provider. Hugo Ekitike is already on the score sheet in his Premier League, scoring on his debut last week at Anfield. I feel like, looking at it from the outside looking in at Liverpool, I don't feel that scoring goals is going to be the problem. I worry more about the back line. Maybe the midfield could do with some replenishments.
Exactly, I totally agree, and I think no Liverpool fan will disagree with you. Obviously, I was at the Community Shield the other week, and we were shocking at the back. Obviously, you watched it yourself, and then last week, obviously, we blew a 2-goal lead. Yeah, Gravenberch wasn't playing, but obviously, Canate had an absolute shocker. At the moment, if from now till the transfer window, if we can only have either a striker or a defender, to me, it's get a defender.
Yeah.
Because that's more important than the striker. Scoring goals for this team is not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It's defensive, and I mean, Frimpong is great going forward. He's injured. Obviously, Bradley's going to play on Monday, but Bradley is like Gomez. He constantly gets injured. I can say anything about Trent. I mean, he wasn't the greatest defender. I mean, he's played for Madrid the other night, and he's been ripped, hasn't he, already, by the Spanish press about someone. They've been saying he's not even Madrid worthy. I think that's a bit harsh. He's only played one game in La Liga, but I did say when he was leaving, he's got to open his eyes, because the press over there, you know yourself, they are horrible. The worst in the English press, you know what I mean? But
it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see how it goes for him. It really will. It really will, especially in the Champions League. You know, history will tell us that there's a major chance that he'll end up coming back to Anfield or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see the reception that he gets. Sean, I must say it's been an honour to talk to you, sir. Great call, really insightful, and I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much. We're going to stay with the phone lines now, and we're going to change direction. We're going to talk to a Chelsea fan, George. George, how wonderful was that yesterday?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't agree with much of what he said there. I don't know about you, mate.
He's on the. It's all right, Rory. To be fair, I agree with what Laurie says.
No, I didn't really agree with the Liverpool fan, Sean.
Oh no.
Because he talks about the defensive options. Yeah. What do people want? 10 centre backs. 10 centre backs. Is that what people want? So you're telling me Virgil van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, Giovanni Leone, and Guehi's going to happen, in my opinion, probably isn't good enough. What do people want? Name me who has a better third choice centre back and fourth choice centre back than Liverpool if they sign Guehi. Real talk. Who has better centre back depth than Liverpool if they sign Mark Guehi? Because Mark Guehi starts for all of the top 6 clubs, barring Arsenal and Liverpool. He starts at United, he starts for Tottenham, he starts for Chelsea because of their injury problems. He starts for every single top 6 club, probably Liverpool and Arsenal. He starts for all the rest of the other clubs. And the fact that he will come in and be our third choice to also have a potential long-term centre-back in Giovanni Leone, again, that's another good addition. I think our fullbacks depth is quite good enough, because when everyone was signing Kirkes, they was wet in their pants. So they can't complain about that. But people, we've got a bit of positive news, because we've got one of the goats of YouTube coming onto the show. Big up to my guy, Uncle. Let's welcome him on to the show. Big up to you.
Yeah, man, what's going on, bros? Broski.
I was
we on too?
do some Talk Sport clips.
Yeah. I've been watching the show whilst I was eating, whilst I was stuffing my face.
Please give me your thoughts, Uncle Man, because are you concerned about the final week of the window?
Yeah,
Because why is everyone going ballistic, going mental? Jamie Carragher saying Liverpool should walk away. Liverpool are not going to go into, once the transfer market ends, with Mohamed Salah, Hugo Ekitike and Cody Gakpo, and Salah will be gone for 5 games of AFCON. Chiesa didn't really play much last season, so we can't really count him. And obviously Rio Ngoama and Jadon Danns are both kids. So I don't know where this narrative of is this whole meltdown. Oh my God, it's literally Isak or bust. Liverpool are going to either sign, it will either be Isak or they will sign someone. I'm confident we sign at least 2 to 3 players this week. I don't know what your thoughts and feelings are, but yeah, take it away if you want, mate.
Yeah, I agree with you. I reckon we do sign 2 to 3 players this week. I think this is the crunch week. Do you know what I mean? And the only thing that I would say that I'll criticize Liverpool for, do you know what I mean? And it's just a minor criticism, it's not really big, is that, you know, getting rid of these players without sort of like having these players definitely coming in. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, definitely coming into sort of like to the fold of Liverpool. Usually at the day it's like 2 out, 2 in. Do you know what I mean? You know, they've got rid of Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez is gone. Unfortunately, obviously, you know, Diego Jota, he's, you know, passed away, sadly passed away. That was a situation beyond our control, so we can't really count that. But one of the 2 main stars have gone out of team. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, in Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez. Do you know what I mean? And nothing's come in as yet. Do you know what I'm saying? So I do feel at the end of the day that this week they do get these stuff done. There's already talk about Mark Guehi is definitely coming. That looks about 95% sure that he's coming. And then you're looking at Rodrigo. No, is it Rodrigo? Yeah, Rodrigo. Look at Rodrigo. There's a chance that he might come in. Do you know what I mean? Because he wants to leave his club. He's only got about what? How many minutes has he got at Real Madrid so far? He's hardly got any. He's hardly got any sort of like minutes of Real Madrid. This is World Cup year, so he needs to play football. Do you understand what I'm getting at? And far as I can understand, is that sort of like when you look at Man City, they're supposed to be out the fold now. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be out the fold, and that's probably the only team you can see him going to. You know what I mean? That's contend to the league. He won't go to what's it call it, Arsenal, because they've got their boy Eze. All right, Saka's out injured and Odegaard's out injured, but those are injuries at the day that you don't need to replace a person with. Do you know what I mean? I honestly feel that Kai Havertz next summer goes. I think he goes. Do you know what I mean? Because they're so quick to replace him when he went injured. That means he's gonna go either in January or either in summer. But anyway, so like you're looking at Arsenal, don't really need him, you know. But then you could look at Liverpool, and we could say that we do need a left winger. We're in badly demand of a left winger. Do you know what I mean? So I do feel that if Liverpool play the cards right, they could actually sort of like get Rodrigo. I do not believe as well. I don't believe that like, you know, that to give them Canate and maybe we can get a good deal on Rodrigo. Do you know what I mean? Still think there's a deal to be done there. You know what I mean? In that way, you know. So listen, this is a crunch week, and I think they do get it done. I think they do get it. We're going to be looking at some bombers this week. I mean, as for Jamie Carragher, you see, Jamie Carragher, to be at the end of the day, right? I'll be honest with you. I never rated him as a footballer. To be honest, I never really rated him. I thought he was above. above average defender. Above average defender. He had some good moments, a few good moments, but I think he's above average defender. But it was only kind of like made to be, talked about, as it were, and revered and praised because he was a Scouser and he came through the academy. Do you know what I mean? Even though he was an Everton supporter, up until he got his even when he got his debut for Liverpool, he was still an Everton supporter. Do you know what I mean? So listen, so I don't really take much. I take what Jamie Carragher says with a pinch of salt because look at this. This is a guy, and they nearly got banged out by sort of like Kate Scott's husband. You know what I mean? He got banged out by him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is a guy. It's true. He nearly got sparked out.
Yeah, he's a handy fella as well, him, isn't he?
Yeah, he's ex-pro boxer. He literally trains his wife. You know what I mean? Get her boxing training and all that. Do you understand what I'm getting at, right? And he said some like out of pocket remarks. He made some out of pocket remarks to Kate. Well, her name was Kate Abdul at that time because she hadn't actually married him yet. He made some off-comic marks to her, you know, about a situation and saying about certain things, yeah. And like Malik, that's his name. His name's Malik. He got to hear about it, and if it was gonna spark him out. So then you have that. Then you have this is the same guy that wore a Man United top. He wore a Man United top on 2 occasions. You know what I mean? So what things about what Jamie Carragher says, right? I don't listen to because I think to myself, I don't want to say what I think he is anyway. So you know what I mean?
I just want to get into a couple of the comments, lads, and I want your thoughts and feelings. Liverpool leaving it, wait to the window. Big up to Little Copite says, what are people grasping? It's all right saying we will sign players before the end of the window, but I was on Kabak type signings, but because we dropped the Isak and Guehi basket. Again, I always said a lot of Liverpool's business would be late, especially Mark Guehi. Go back to my stream, so 2-3 months ago when I spoke about Mark Guehi. If Liverpool are going to sign Mark Guehi, it'll be in the final week of the window, and I've mentioned that on many weeks. I mentioned on Uncle's channel on many occasions because that Crystal Palace price tag will go down. Crystal Palace will come into realization and think, shit, he ain't signing a new contract. You saw their chairman come out and speak the other night after their Europa Conference League match and say, we have to do what's best for the club. And if he doesn't want to stay, then we'll basically take matters into our own hands. I'm just paraphrasing of what he said. And ultimately, Fabrizio Romano confirming that Liverpool would be willing to pay 30 to 35 million. We know they want about 40 to 45 million. And I think both sides will compromise in between and, we'll get a deal done for 35 million, maybe 5 mil plus add-ons. And ultimately, Guehi coming in as a third choice backup will be absolute quality. And if in the Isak situation, the only reason that situation has actually come down to being late is because Newcastle have not signed any players. But I think Liverpool will do 2 things. If, let's say, Newcastle sign a striker tomorrow, whoever that is, just say they do, right? I think we come straight away in within a bid and you see Isak become a Liverpool player. And I genuinely believe by Friday or Saturday, so the window shuts a week tomorrow. So by Friday, Saturday, that'll be about 2-3 days to the window shuts. I think even if Newcastle have not got a player in, Liverpool will bid because it'll be like, right, look, we've given you weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks upon weeks now. There's only a few days left. We're just going to go all guns in and get this man. We've done everything we possibly can from the player side of point of view. He wants the move. He's basically agreed personal terms. He can't make it more clear that he wants the Liverpool move. It's just now basically saying, look, here's 130 million. Fuck you. See you later. And jog on.
I don't know why they just. I don't know why they just don't take the money. The haggling with Brentford over Wesser. If they just took the money off us, they could go and buy Wesser because Brentford won 55 to 60. Go and get him. Go and get Nicholas Jackson. Go and get another winger. They could do so much with that money and help the team out massively. But they're just putting a big blockade in front of everything they're doing right now.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. It makes no sense, really. Do you know what I mean? It's like there could have been a simple solution to all this. Do you know what I mean? If a player doesn't want to stay at a club, Just sell him. Do you know what I mean? But you want to quibble about the fact that they were of who said what and what said to, and all that. Do you know when you could have sold him, yeah, and had the money at the end of the day to sort of like say, right, you know what, we're going to restructure our team. Do you know what I mean? Because necessarily, if you didn't go out and get sort of like Alexander Isak replacement, you could have still done work in your team with that money. Midfielder, defender, and a winger. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure at the end of the day, if the Newcastle fans saw you doing that, they're gonna slowly forget about what Alexander Isak's got done or was supposed to have said or what's supposed to have said to him. Do you know what I mean? You
Well,
get
look,
what I'm saying? You could have
look how
done that. You could have said,
look how
go on, Kerry.
look how quickly we moved on. For like everyone was fuming when Coutinho was leaving. Look how quickly we moved on.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. You know what I mean? You know what it is, and this is what I'm saying at the day, right? And I've said this quite a few times. Yeah, what it is with Newcastle, they haven't got the big club mentality. So this what proves at the end of the day that Newcastle's not a big club. Of no disrespect, this what proves that Newcastle's not a big club. I will always say this: they're a well-supported club. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I mean? They're a well-supported club, but not a big club because when you're a big club, you need big club mentality. Right. A player doesn't want to stay at your club. Right. What do we do? Do you know what I mean? Do we hang on to him? Do you know what I mean? And lose out on opportunities, or do we sell him and sort of like for a good price and say, right, you know what I mean? We can revamp our team. You know what I mean? Getting some fresh legs and do this and do that. Do you know what I mean? Spread the money around the team. Do we not do that? Do you know what I mean? And that's how big clubs thinks. Yeah, big club at the end of the day, sort of like like Liverpool would have taken that money and said, right, you know what, we're going to replenish our club. And that's what Newcastle have done. Newcastle said, all right, then, you know what, you don't want to stay? All right, then, you know what, we'll work with sort of like Liverpool to see if we can get the best offer for you, and then they right, and then you can go. Then you can go. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if they're saying it and that you know, they didn't have no conversation with us and blah blah blah, all you have to say to Isak is this, and when you go to your next club, yeah, right, you make things at the end of the day to your next club at the end of the day crystal clear, so there's no messing about, because this can't happen again to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? But yet you got people like, you got numbskulls like True Geordie coming out and saying that Newcastle, he's a numbskull. He is. He's just a numbskull. He's a racist numbskull as well. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't stand him. Honestly, I can't stand him. He's a sausage.
That was better than mine. Yeah, numbskull was better than mine. Yeah. No, but he is though. He's coming out and saying that they like, you know, oh yeah, he's disrespectful. Newcastle made him. You didn't make him. He was a baller before he even came to your club. People were surprised that he came to Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? That's how much he was that baller he was. He was at Dortmund, kicking up with Dortmund. Real Sociedad. What are you talking about? You made him. Have a word with yourself. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you know, all this could be avoided in a day if, like, you know, Newcastle and they acted like a big club and just moved them on. Just moved them on. Because when you look at it, and then right, he's not going to play for Newcastle again. I cannot see Alexander Isak playing for Newcastle again. I just can't see it. Do you know what I mean? So big clubs, I always say that big clubs have big club mentality. Small clubs have small club mentality. I'm afraid that they, like Newcastle, is, in the grand scheme of things, are a small club. They move with small, man.
Can I just say, look at Everton's new stadium, how cringe. Oh, look at us with our new flags. Woo. Oh my days. Guys, I have got another clip of Simon Jordan, the absolute buffoon. If you guys want to react to it, saying idiots, Liverpool. and explains how Isak should handle Newcastle exit. Let's have a listen, because this guy chats the most absolute rubbish.
And Danny Murphy, we are live on TalkSport. We haven't even got around
Even if
to
you can
events at
hear it.
Ibrox last night.
Yeah.
Brugge, you heard from the former Zulte Waregem manager, Frankie Jury, yesterday. Watch Bruges. My God, he was right. They absolutely rip Rangers apart. Is Russell Martin's tenure really in danger of folding before it's truly begun? We've still got that to look at, that and a whole lot more. We'll hear from the boxer, Josh Buatsi, later on this morning as well. But at the moment, we've parked our tanks on the lawns of Alexander Isak and Newcastle United. Alexander Isak, we know that he's saying, no, forget it. I don't wish to be reintegrated into the Newcastle squad. I'm out of here. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue, he said in a statement last night. We've been waiting to hear from him, and then it came along. Newcastle hit back. Not true. No commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. So where does it go from here? Isak and the promises. What promises? And to whom? And Newcastle, no, they never made a commitment when they said that he could leave. They've never said that he can leave. So at the moment, it's stalemate. Where does it go from here? Simon has a very strong view in it. So too does Danny. Danny, do you think that that this is it? It's crunch time now, and that he doesn't play for them again? Is that your train of thought?
No, if I was betting, which I wouldn't, I think it looks more likely he's going to stay and Newcastle are going to dig in.
Or you think he'll stay?
Yeah. I think it looks more that way mainly because they haven't got a replacement. Because I think if they had got Shesko when we went to United instead of them, maybe they would have contemplated Liverpool's bid. But I don't see Liverpool, even if Liverpool go up a bit, I don't see how Newcastle can let him go when they've got nobody to play centre forward. It's just simple
even in spite
numbers.
of this statement, you think it's still time and it still could be on that Isak could find a way of reintegrating into the Newcastle United.
Well, what's he going to do? He's got his World Cup year. He's got to keep playing anyway to keep the interest up in him if he goes next summer. What choice have you got? You've got to play football. Even if you have to apologise, you have to hold your hands up, whatever it is, he's got to play football.
Simon, would you be on the blower to Vlado Lemic, his agent, this morning?
Not if I could help it, no.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that thoroughly disgusts you, doesn't it? An impasse like this in football.
No, it doesn't disgust me. I think it's a commercial reality.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets amped up because it gives lots of legs and lots of content for people like ourselves. But behind the scenes, it'll be less hysterical. There'll be less of what we are ruminating over. And there will be an outcome. I mean, what I get despondent about, and not despondent but irritated about, is I get tired of people like the union taking lots of money out of football as a result of football's contributions to it, and yet never condemning this sort of behaviour, because contracts actually do mean something. We're talking about something. So you've got an asset that's being paid £6 million a year. They've paid 30 million quid to buy. 60 million pound to buy. Is that what it cost them? So they've got a 60 million pound asset. Right, we've got a 3-year contract left in it, and we're having this discussion about a gentleman's agreement, and people are actually believing it. People listen to, broken promises. You get idiots like Jamie O'Hara going on Sky saying broken promises have been made. Nonsense. Everybody in the real world knows that if an undertaking were given by a football club,
hold on, pause it for a minute.
A discussion allowing him to be sold.
You notice how he says, idiots like Jamie O'Hara going on to Sky Sports saying, obviously, about the agreement and that, right? Let's not forget that Jamie O'Hara is supposed to be a colleague of his on Talk Sport, and this is how he's talking about. This is how he's talking about his colleague. Okay, fair enough.
Well, it is broken promises.
It is. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. And there's nothing that sort of like Simon Jordan can say to make it any different. Simon Jordan and they is like a small club owner. So he's got small club mentality. And what you said earlier on about Mark Goldbridge, it's true. Mark Goldbridge did say he worked on Talk Sport, and he said at the end of the day, right, when they haven't got, put it this way, to fill up the time, the time slots, right? They're told at the end of the day to wind up the Liverpool fans, to get up the Liverpool fans. Do you know what I mean? They're told to do that. And he calls that Goldbridge and Neddy used to work on Talk Sports. Sport. You don't call him Talk Sport, you call him Talk Shite. That's what he calls him. That's what he calls them. You go and look at the podcast with him and Terry Flowers and Mark Goldbridge in the name, right? And he just explains it all. He said these guys and sort of like Talk Sport are a bunch of idiots, especially people like Simon Jordan, especially people like him. Do you know what I mean?
Bomb the Hall's the worst.
Huh?
Bomb the Hall's the worst.
Yeah. He's another knob as well. Didn't really make it as a footballer, but yet and then you're on here talking shite. He just talks rubbish. He talks rubbish, isn't he? This is the guy that talks about like talks about sort of like, you know, Alexander Isak. But you was at Aston Villa, I believe. You was at Aston Villa, right? And Man City came in for you, and you said it, and they sort of like, "Nah, you're not going." And the last day of the transfer window, you went to Man City. Do you know what I mean? So you've got no credibility, have you? You've got no credibility. Simon Jordan as well is the one and they, right, that was having a go at my mate, Don Robbie, was having a go at him because he's making all this money out of AFTV.
Do you know what else is surprising?
So what are you doing on Talk Sport then? Are you not making money at Talk Sport? And Talk Sport paying you? What you did? What did you do at owning Crystal Palace? Did you not get money for that? Did you not get money for the restaurant you got in Seville? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, so they're so hypocritical. It's unbelievable, and they always push the narrative when it comes to Liverpool. Not only Simon John does that. There's a whole load of them, and the whole load of them. When it comes to Liverpool, they always push the narrative. No, you can't do that. Why? Because you've done it. All these teams at the day, look at Whistler at the day. He's literally gone on strike and everything that. Said he's not paying for Brentford at there, right? Because he wants to go to Newcastle. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody talks about Gokrez today. Nobody said anything about Gokrez. Nobody said anything about Anthony that's gone on strike 2 times. Once at Ajax and now with Man United. Nobody's talking about Garnacho, what he's doing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Talk Sport though. Who are they owned by? They're owned by News Corp, right? Who else does News Corp own? The Sun.
Yeah. And
so
who's that owned by? Rupert Murdoch.
Correlation of the links that you see negativity around Liverpool Football Club. Because fuck the Sun, and we all know what they did and all that bollocks. We don't need to.
Load of wrong ones not even allowed in the city.
Yeah, they're wrong. Because the thing is about not to cost you FootyReacts, right? It's all owned by owned by Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch owns these channels like this. He owns these channels, GB News, Talk Radio. He owns all the sort of corporations, and all those most of the corporations do, right? I'm not being funny, right? It's a shit on people of color. Excuse my language. They do shit on people of color. Do you know what I mean? They've got all this rage at the day when there's a person of color that does what they're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable that you cannot show that you sort of like making your bigotry obvious. You're just making it obvious and that some of you and then a bunch of bigots. You're owned by the biggest bigot in the world. Do you know what I mean? He's a bigot. Do you know what I mean? Sky News at the day, Sky TV at the day, where I've got an invested interest in Talk Sports as well. I think they've got some investment or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Because most of the people that's on Sky, when they finish with Sky, whether they get sacked or whether they get where they leave, they all end up on Talk Sport. Richard Keys and Andy Gray end up with Talk Sports. And we all know how much a bunch of wrong'uns they are. We all know how much a bunch of wrong'uns they are. But they ended up with Talk Sport before they went to BN Sport. Do you understand what I'm saying? What's that I've got? Matterface, that guy Matterface in the day, right? When he got sacked from Sky, Where did he end up? Sky. As I'm on Talk Sport. What about What about Natalie Swanson? Natalie Swanson, when she finished with Sky, left Sky, she ended up sort of like on Talk Sport. That Jeff Reeves, where is he? Talk Sport. So they got that link there, bro. They're all in it together. And the things about it, right? Sky, right, was mostly responsible for Man United winning all those leagues in the Premier League era. They was responsible for that because Sky News or the Sky Corporation wanted to buy Man United. They wanted to buy Man United at one time, but they was told they couldn't do that because it looked obvious there's a conflict of interest. So what did they do? They put Man United TV a couple of channels down from Sky Sports News. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They put Ferguson at the head of the Premier League board. They put him on there. He was on the board of the Premier League. You tell me if that's fair. Tell me if that's fair, right? And tell me at the date, right? If it wasn't a conflict of interest that a manager of a team in the league, right, sat on a board of that league. How's that right? And he was able to sit on that. He's able to sit on that board for so long, up until he retired. Have you noticed what's happened at the day since he's retired from football? Since Ferguson's retired from football, right? They have never won the league. Never won the league. The last time they won the league is when Alex Ferguson was there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, you know what? At the end of the day, right? Don't come and tell me about my team or what my team does at the end of the day, right? When you guys at the end of the day, right, do the worst. You've had Michael Oliver at the end of the day, right, making biased decisions against Liverpool and against Arsenal in order for Man City to succeed. Nobody does that. Nobody says anything about it. Nobody says anything about it. You understand what I'm saying? When that guy, that numbskull for Nottingham, come out and when he said that called what's it, Klopp, a German see you next Tuesday, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
David Coote.
David Coote. Now, when initially look back then. Initially, at the day, they never did anything really about that. It's only when at the day, right, he got caught putting a Colombian marching pad up his nose. That's when they did something. That's when they did something. But initially, at the day, they weren't going to do anything about that. They was not going to do anything about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, this is what Sky's all about, bro. Right? They're biased against Liverpool. There always have been and always will be biased against Liverpool. So other teams like your Chelsea, your Man City, your Man United, your Arsenal, and so forth, they can do what they want. But once Liverpool do something, what they seem to think that they seem to deem that something they don't like, something they think they should be doing, right? They come down on a ton of bricks. They will come down on a ton of bricks. Do you know what I mean? You got Simon Jordan coming out and saying that they sort of like, oh yeah, they tapped up Alexander Isak. They got form for that because look what they've done to Virgil van Dijk, right? We went in, we spoke to his agent, yeah, and it was sort of like come out to say, well, you know, they should have done that. We paid their fine, moved on, then we bought him in January, yeah. Meanwhile, you got teams like Man City and that's breaking 115 charges, yeah, and nothing's getting done about that yet. But yet you got the energy to talk about us. Do you know what I mean? These people at the day, right? They need to take a hard look at themselves and look at the corruptness in them. It's just like it's so corrupt, it's unbelievable. That's why I'm thinking at the day, sort of like if Liverpool get that deal across the line, which I think they would with Alexander Isak, yeah, and obviously Mark Guehi in that, right? I would not go for any fucking English player in the Premiership again. I don't care what they're like. I said, you know what? We're just going to deal with foreign players. really. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you think this week, guys, we'll hit like a point where we'll obviously bid again for Isak, and then if we can't get him, do you think we'll kick it down the road and do it next summer and try and get Rodrigo with the money instead?
I don't. I think at the day, sort of like if we don't get Alexander Isak, we won't go this summer. I don't think we'll go back in for him again. I think that's it. It's just we just feel like, all right, then, you know what? Then we're not gonna bother. We'll just go on to sort of like, you know, other targets. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think at the end of the day, if we get
who we get though, so like for example, you say Liverpool won't go back in for him. If they get some media attacker, I think we'll go back in for a January. If we get Rodrigo, then I don't think we go back in for him.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Whoever the player we bring in will be very telling whether we go back in for him or not.
If we get Rodrigo, I don't think we'll go back in for him again.
I don't think we get Rodrigo. I don't think we got a chance at Rodrigo, in my opinion. I
never know.
Real Madrid.
You never know, because there's a few players that what Liverpool got this season. I didn't think we'd have a chance of getting, and we got them. I didn't think we have a chance of getting sort of like Wirtz. I didn't think we have a chance of getting a Katika, but we got him. You know what I mean? So it remains to be seen, I suppose. It remains to be seen. I always say it's like how hard at the end of the day that Liverpool, you know, obviously want the move with Rodrigo. If they really intent in getting Rodrigo, I think they'll get him. But if they're sort of like 50-50, go on, Karen.
I think the agent's more driving the talk than it actually is the club wanting him. I think Liverpool like Rodrigo. I think they're a fan of Rodrigo. But I think ultimately it's more the agent himself that's actually linking him to a move to Liverpool. And there was a report the other day that was basically stating that as well. I just think, I don't know what's going to happen, lads, but do you guys want to react to the rest of this clip?
Yeah, go on now.
Yeah, we'll see what else rubbish is said.
Go on, man.
That it would be documented properly in the same way that his contract was documented. You're not sitting there with these supreme athletes that are getting paid enormous amounts of money with big contracts, knowing the marketplace as you do go, and saying things that that are not substantial. It doesn't happen.
Isn't it naive though to think that the union are going to come out and condemn their own players? It's a bit like you were talking the other day.
It's naive. It's not naive. It's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
And it's morally bankrupt, because they'll be the first ones to come out and tell you what happens to a player when it's not in their opinion, right? But they'll be the last ones to turn around and say, condemn their own unions members.
Yeah, if they forced him. There's something of a vacuum of leadership at Newcastle. Does this statement from Newcastle change your view on that?
Well, I think it's a necessary evil to serve a greater good. Of course, there's a vacuum of leadership. This situation has been allowed to get away from them. It's been allowed to turn into, you know, a circus and a carnival of horrors.
I also think, Jim, as well, just quickly, we were talking before the show. I also think, and I know Simon's not a big fan of agents, but this is good agents don't let this situation happen. The best agents get the deals done quietly, discreetly, firm hand, with good negotiating, and find a solution for all, generally.
The question is to you, Danny, mate. How is he supposed to get the deal done if Newcastle don't accept?
Exactly.
So you're just chatting rubbish there again.
Depends what you think a good version of an agent is. I mean, I remember
someone who gets a good deal done without
throwing Riola off the training ground and thinking he was a devil incarnate, which is a view I happen to share.
Oh, that's all right.
The fact whether he's no longer with us. So, but you would say he's a good agent because he's achieved outcomes for his player, and to some extent, depends what you think a good agent looks like.
Well, I mean, an agent who isn't pushing you to cause World War III and trying to find solutions for you and keep your best interests at heart without putting you in the line of fire. You know, somebody who's not saying to you, put that in, do this, and making you look bad for the potential of having to stay. And I think I've had experiences on a lesser level, of course. This is a huge transfer with a big.
But you had grown-ups like Neil Fewings around you that make outcomes work better for everybody.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, and I know other guys as well, the bigger players than me, who've had some good advice when they wanted to go rogue and actually said, "Hold on, let's just."
But before we go to the call, Simon, are we naive to think that a club official at a top club like Newcastle United might just have reneged on a deal, something that was said in the passing verbally that now it's suitable for that individual to forget that comment was made?
Well, who is it? Because if someone has made that observation and made it clear, then I'd be very, very okay. We can use naivety as a word. I'd be very, very surprised that someone in significant authority has illustrated to a player that, irrespective of the conditions of the circumstances, that he can go as he pleases. Because that's what we're saying here. I think Newcastle, despite not being explicit, and I don't even know if Liverpool made a formal bid, but I think Newcastle have been reluctant to sell, but will sell on conditions that even in their own statement, that they define. Now, there's nothing wrong with that position, and I'm suspecting that at some point they might have had that conversation with Alexander Isak. Now, what the interpretation is, what Alexander Isak and Liverpool and Alexander Isak's agent want to do is they want to define the conditions that he's sold under, and if those conditions aren't to their liking, i.e. that Newcastle want more money than they think they should be being sold for, then they'll consider that to be a renege of some spurious agreement that might have been had in a very loose conversation about, we accept that if you want to leave to a bigger football club, we will talk to that bigger football club and try and agree a deal. That is not the same as you can go and do as you want.
Well, what if someone said to him, look, if someone comes in for 100 million next summer, you can go? What if someone said that?
Oh, then Isak would have a case.
Okay, absolutely.
But you think that Isak and his agent, Vlado Lemic, who got in touch with me just before I came on air, saying he's got nothing to say, you think they're twisting the truth?
I think that if you're in a position where you've got a massive asset like this and you're sitting down in a conversation, why wouldn't you ask somebody from a football club to put that in writing and understand that will never see the light of day unless somebody's prepared to breach what they've said they've said to them in an agreement that they're now relying on.
But when Newcastle say no commitment has ever been made by a club official that Alex can leave this summer, it's not out with the realms of possibility that club official is no longer there, right?
Paul Mitchell, you mean? Possibly.
Well, Amanda Staveley.
Sure, but she was
Darren Eales.
They're talking about 6 months ago, aren't they? So Amanda Staveley wasn't there.
There's been a bunch of change.
Yeah, but she wasn't there. She'd not been there for some time. And so
this will be from last summer.
But that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whether they're not. He said no Newcastle official.
Yeah.
Not no previous Newcastle official or no new official that's present. No Newcastle official means no Newcastle official.
Okay. We have a queue of callers, the length of London Bridge out there. We're going to start taking calls the other side of 10:30. Thanks to all of you who are getting in touch in such big numbers this morning. And we'll ask you straight, prepare you for it. Who is more likely to be forced into a climb down?
Jim White.
Absolute load of rubbish. But yeah, lads, what was your thoughts on the clip?
Well, put it this way, right? The argument of what Simon Jordan's making to say that he's had no conversation with any Newcastle official, well, it's been proved that's wrong because Eddie Howe's come out and said in his press conference that, yes, he has had sort of like conversations with Isak. So that proves that Isak was right. Although he didn't divulge what was in that conversation, he said he has had conversations with Alexander Isak. And everybody knows at the end of the day, without him actually saying it, because he couldn't say it, they know at the end of the day it was about the transfer. So what Simon Jordan just said makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense at all. This is what I'm talking about. Simon Jordan's like that kid in school in the day that was like a Mr. Know-it-all, but everybody used to mug him off. Do you know what I mean? No, seriously. Do you know what I mean? So that's true though, isn't it? Mug him right off. No, but do you know what I mean though? Do you know what I mean? He's like one of them sort of. He's like the way he sits in the day, like sits and he talks. Is like, you know, I am the law. You got to do what I say because I know everything. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. You know what I mean? So there was agreement made. The only thing that I would say that like Isak's done wrong is when he had that agreement. What he should have done is put it in writing. He should have put it in writing. You know, they always tell you when you talk to official people like that. Do you know what I mean? It could be in any walks of life. When you talk to official people, you have to have something in writing to say that, and they will look. I can do this, or I'm going to get that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Something official, but we never had that. So what they're trying to say is a lot of what Alex is saying is speculation. That's what they're trying to say. Is speculation, really, when it, you know, obviously is the truth.
Well, supposedly he had an agreement with Amanda Staveley in the old hierarchy, and now what have happened is because they've gone, now Newcastle have gone back on the agreement. So, well, that was the old the old agreement, and we're not honouring that now, and rightly so. He's that, I think that would annoy anyone if you were at a job and they were promised you something, and then when they come round to doing it, like, oh no, the ownership's changed now, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it today that he should have got something in writing. Literally, just get something in writing. And obviously, when the new sort of like regime come in, you can say, look, remember this? It's agreement. Yeah, this is agreement. Do you know what I mean? I've got an agreement that I'm going to leave this season. He goes, I don't see anything in writing. Just say, yeah, it's right. It's right here. Do you know what I mean? But without any sort of like written or verbal confirmation, they could simply say that and they no, he didn't tell us anything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Look, I don't know how this is going to end, but I did see this tweet that I want to bring up from Ian Doyle that say every club has a consistency plan, but there is a nagging suspicion Liverpool are intent on signing Alexander Isak and won't settle for anyone else. So here's a question to you lads. If we don't sign Alexander Isak, let's just say we don't, are you going to be furious despite still having a good window?
Go on, Sonny.
Well, yeah, I'd still be happy, to be honest, because it's still one of the best windows we've had. I'd be a bit annoyed that we've chased it, like Newcastle have kind of led us on and let us go after him this long and not sell him. I do feel like we still probably would go after him, though, similar to Van Dijk, because we tried to get Van Dijk earlier and we had to wait for him. I feel like it might be like that. But it would leave his light up top. Like, I would have liked to see maybe the money go on, like, maybe not a Rodrigo, like a Malik Fofana and a Mark Guehi. I think most Liverpool fans would be happy with that.
Mm.
I still think we sign 2 more players, lads.
Yeah.
I
think so, 3.
If we had to go around the table and I ask you 2 now, what's your prediction for this final week of the window?
3 players, man.
Who do you think those 3 will be?
Isak, Rodrigo, and Guehi.
See, I think Isak, Guehi.
Yeah, can work
Isak
as well.
and
But I think pulling out all 3 still.
Do you want to know who I think we get?
Yeah, go on, man.
I think we go and sign Maldini and we go and get Glenn Murray out of retirement.
And thank Cabrezi for good measure.
Yeah, get Ronaldinho while you're at it.
Nah, on a realist, I think we end the window on Mark Guehi on deadline day. And I think we get Alexander Isak next Friday. And I think you could see Liverpool maybe. I don't think we will, but I think we might try for Malik Fofana.
Malik Fofana, yeah.
That's what I personally do think. But are you guys happy with, if we didn't sign Guehi, are you happy with our defensive options in Giovanni, Konate, and Virgil?
No.
And that young kid, isn't it? Leone.
Konate looks really, really dodgy this season as well.
I think he just needs to get into the season.
I'm not going to judge Konate after one match.
No, I think he needs to get into the season. I mean, to be honest, at the day, sort of like I've been the one at the day that said on my show the other day that you cannot show separate energy for sort of like individual players in a game. Do you know what I mean? In games, and when Virgil van Dijk made us 2 mistakes that cost 2 goals. I know it was a nothing game, but he made us 2 mistakes. Yeah, it costed 2 goals. Costed obviously Crystal Palace to get back into the game. It's like nobody really had a lot to say about it. But then you got Konate in the other day, where obviously, you know, that Semenya has a 70-yard run, yeah, and scores a goal, and all of a sudden that's Kanate's fault. Do you know what I mean? His first, Crystal Palace's first goal. You know, it's supposed to be Kanate's fault. He just got blamed for everything. Do you know what I mean? I was saying, look, you know, you can't do that. You can't show separate energy for players when you have a player that has just about, you know what I mean, bad games as what he's what Kanate does. Do you understand what I'm saying? 'Cause you know, and I know, they right. It's like when that the community shield, nobody had anything to say about sort of like Virgil van Dijk's performance. It was shit. But then, you know, the next game we play, do you know what I mean? Against Bournemouth, all of a sudden he's at Kanate's at fault. Kanate's at fault. Kanate's at fault. I'm not really feeling that, but you know, I just think sort of like Kanate just needs to get into the season and he'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree. On a bit of the Guehi situation again. This is one of the reasons why I think it happens, because you know Steve Parsh, the chairman, unwilling to lose the defender on a free, and we know Mark Guehi doesn't want to leave. So I do think there will be a middle ground, and we're reaching a deal of probably, I reckon it'll be something like 37 million. We just meet in between 30, 35 mil, 36, 37 million. And I do think we move very quickly on this deal, in my opinion, and be able to have five centre backs. That's more than enough. What do people want? 10 centre backs? Because to be able to name me a better selection of centre backs than Virgil van Dijk, Kanate, Guehi, Giovanni Leone, and Joe Gomez. Oh, and also worst comes to worst, we've still got the likes of Endo. Trey Leone can play there. If it got really, really bad, we can play Simicast there. So to be able to have 5 centre backs, again, I don't really understand the understandment that people are complaining. And obviously Fabrizio Romano confirming you know, the deal is absolutely on. And again, you know, I do think we get this deal done, lads.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think they will eventually sell him, because they know if he doesn't go in this window, anyone can sign him in January for free. So
yeah,
they won't get exactly what they want, but they'll get close to it.
So I do think we signed Guehi. Uncle knows I'm a big fan of this player. I don't know if you guys have seen the Adam Wharton.
Adam Wharton, yeah, he's a good player.
Brilliant.
I said if I could sign any player barring Isak and Guehi, Adam Wharton.
Yeah, definitely.
Sign me Adam Wharton. I've been saying all summer. This guy is one of the most complete midfielders in the league. Yes, he's got a skinhead. Yes, he's not flashy with flashy cars. But I don't care about all that. If you're a baller, you're a baller. And obviously the tweet is that Liverpool, one of many clubs keeping and signing on Crystal Palace, Adam Wharton, Manchester City, Manchester United, and Robert Judge all interested in England international too. Crystal Palace won't discuss any offers of 80 million euros. I personally think our goal for this summer is to bring in the centre-back and the striker. Therefore, next year, I actually think we focus on a midfielder, whether that would be an Adam Wharton.
Yeah, I agree.
What's your thoughts, lads?
No, I agree. I think Adam Wharton is a good player, very, very good player. Do you know what I mean? Knows how to pick a pass. He's very good. But yeah, I agree with you. I reckon you could see Adam Wharton in our midfield next season, especially if we win we win the league and the Champions League, or even the league. It pushes more people to come to clubs. So I could see that.
I think it'd be the perfect. Like, look how long have we wanted and waited to get like the perfect 6, and obviously Gravenberch has done a brilliant role there, but it'd also be nice for Gravenberch just to take a little bit of pressure off Gravenberch as well, knowing that he's the only half decent six that we've got. Obviously McAllister can play there, but if we signed Wharton, it just completes our midfield. It'd be like one of the best signings. It'd be like getting Fabinho again, kind of.
Yeah, he's
Our
quality though. He's quality.
controversial take, lads. Next summer we're going to sell one of McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch.
I'll tell you what would be good, like if Adam Wharton comes to Liverpool, imagine Adam Wharton and Trey Neone in a double pivot. That would look tasty, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would look tasty, man. And then them two in double pivot. Because I rate Trey Neome. I'd rate him highly.
I think Trey and Rio will probably break into this slowly but surely throughout the season. They're going to start breaking into the team.
Yeah. And they, I think it's no secret to us fans to know that Trey Neone and Rio Angama has been literally promoted. They've been promoted. I mean, he's a good player, Trey Neone. He's very clever player as well, and he's got good defensive quality as well. So, I rate him highly.
I'm really excited, lads. I'm really, really excited. I don't know about you.
Exciting times come up, isn't it?
But are you guys got any? By the way, Everton are 1-0 up at their new stadium. How
Who are they playing?
Brighton. I just saw the goal.
Going off what I've seen, just off the all the games that I've watched so far, I think it's going to be us and Arsenal, and I think Chelsea might actually knock City out of fair place as well.
They look woeful yesterday, bro.
Listen, I'm not taking no one seriously when you got a joker who runs like Don Robbie.
You're an idiot.
So sorry, I'm not taking a team seriously that sings "Oh, North London forever." You're not from North London, Arsenal, so I don't know why you sing that. And I'm not even from London, by the way. Huh?
South London come from South London.
I know, I'm not even from fucking London. I can't stand. Nah, man. Listen, the wedding's at the end of the season. Arsenal, you're welcome to be the bridesmaids once again. We've sent out the letter. We just need you to accept. And that deal is advancing. That is what is happening right now. Arsenal to be the bridesmaids. Here we go very, very soon. So make sure
you show next week, right?
Huh?
It's going to be an interesting show next week.
Well, I think out of all of us, I think Arsenal have got the most pressure. I feel like City, like they've got a bit of pressure. We have, but Arsenal, if Arsenal don't get it right this season and win a Champions League or a league, I think they'll probably. It's going to be meltdown season. It is going to be nuts at the end of the season if they don't win anything.
Yeah, they're fucked, isn't it? They're fucked.
Wait,
when we play on Sunday.
Yeah, the game's on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a match preview with my man, innit? Try and get League on. I'm gonna try and get that sorted.
Shoot the link.
I'm gonna work on that still, He's a G though. He's a G. I like him though. I like League Gunner.
Yeah, I like League Gunner's a legend, man.
Yeah, he picked me up in his show, He picked me up in his show.
I need to think actually. From the Arsenal camp. I'm going to try and get a few dudes on. So yeah, and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do a opposition preview type. So I did my preview yesterday.
What's his thing? What's his thing that I need to watch it? Lee Gunner said Welbeck better baller than Salah. Did he now?
He said that. He said it a few times.
I don't care. If he said that. He's still my G. That's his opinion.
Well, have you spoken to him before, Uncle?
Yeah, I spoke to Lee Gunner before. Yeah, I've been on a show with him twice. Yeah, it was an Arsenal channel though, but I think it was in the show when he's there twice. He's funny. He does make you laugh. You know what I mean? He does make you laugh. But
Listen, if I did a show with Lee Gunner, I'll pull up my CV.
you know what it is about Lee Gunner in the day, right? What I do like about Lee Gunner, he actually knows what he's talking about. Yes, at the end of the day, he may have some opinions at the end of the day. Certain times you think, nah, man, don't disagree. I disagree with that. But most of the times at the day, he knows what he's talking about. Most times he knows what he's talking about. Really.
He's the only Arsenal fan with his head out the clouds.
Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. Him and the other one, DJB or something like that. DJB.
Yeah, DJB is good.
Yeah, he's good. DJB good. And Kenny Ken, I've had him on my show before.
Oh yeah, Kenny
Ken's a lovely guy. He's such
Listen,
a lovely guy.
if I was going out clubbing, yeah, and I want someone to back me up, I want Kenny Ken.
No, seriously, he's a lovely guy, man. I had him on my show one time in there, right? And there wasn't many people in watching it, but you know what? He made a show of it. I got a lot of respect for him. Got so much respect for him. It's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? You know, I contacted him and he said, "Yeah, man, you come on." Do you know what I mean? Because I've been on a show with him before with some one fella, and then I've invited him on my show, and he's such a lovely guy. I got a lot of respect for Kenny Ken. Do you know what I mean? Those are Kenny Ken is that support at the end of the day. He's like a die-hard support. He's been going obviously matches from sort of like way back when. He will tell you at the end of the day, his mum's African, I think. His mom, because he's got Nigerian parents, and his mum that got him into football. His mum used to take him to football matches. Imagine that. Do you know what I mean? Because he used to live near the Arsenal ground. He used to take him to football matches. You know what I mean? He's a lovely guy, man. I've got a lot of time for him. Lovely guy.
Yeah, he's an alright guy. I mean, speaking of content, what content have you guys got coming up this week?
The only thing I've got sort of like is 100% definite is watch along tomorrow. I got watch along tomorrow for the Newcastle game. Doing that, and my birthday tomorrow. So,
Big up, Uncle, man.
Yeah, man.
Happy birthday, brother.
Big up, man.
Yeah, man.
21, 21 tomorrow, Uncle lad.
Oh, mate, I fucking wish. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks. So I'm just gonna do a stream tomorrow. I'll probably do something. As I said, you're going to the game tomorrow, innit?
Yeah, I sort out my outfit. I'm wearing the new kit, and then I'm gonna wear my flipping Stone Island jacket on the flipping as well because I think it's gonna get nasty tomorrow. I said I'll speak to someone about it. I'm literally gonna be like undercover. Like as soon as we're
Why are you going? You going up Geordie land?
Yeah.
Geordie land.
Get there for about 4 o'clock. Probably I need to have a look where the away end pub is. Have a few drinks, and then obviously go into St James's. Probably try and I'll probably get to St James's probably early as possible because I think it's gonna get really nasty, lads. And I can't lie. Yeah, I think there's gonna be scraps on and off the pitch and outside the pitch. Yeah, that's why. Do you know after the game, I actually don't be surprised if us fans get kept behind for a little bit. I'm gonna. Do you know when after the games, stewards come to say, "Come on, time to leave." I'm gonna wait till then because I reckon outside that ground, especially if Liverpool win or if Newcastle win, it's gonna turn nasty. So as soon as the game's done, I'm just gonna turn to a side street and book an Uber.
I'm gonna shoot you the link in it tomorrow. So
and then, do you know if I see any Newcastle fans, I'm gonna look outside the window and give them one. Flipping pause.
I'm gonna shoot you the link. I'm gonna shoot you a link to obviously tomorrow, and so after the game, we're gonna have a quick chat after game. You know what I mean? Possible on your phone and that.
Yes, if there's any scraps, I'm gonna record it. Maybe not like. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
What you should do in them day, what you should do is this like what you should do is you stay in the stadium for a bit and give like a thing in it, do like a match reaction, quick match reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Do
would,
like what
I would
Redman
try and go live, but if the signal holds, I might try go live on StreamYard.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, you know, I mean,
Because the other day I tried to FaceTime with my granddad when I was at the Bournemouth game, and the signal was flipping terrible. Like, yeah, I like it. It was my face was just pixelated, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, Anfield signal's really bad. I can't lie, you know.
Yeah. Especially where I was at the time.
Phones, you know?
Say that again.
It's because there's so many people all at once with phones, and like it's supposedly like the way the stadium's built, it's like terrible for internet and signal and stuff.
Like, do you know when we won the league after Tottenham, and I came outside the ground? Do you know it took me like 50 calls, 50 times to make a phone call just to tell people like this is where I am, come and meet me here, because the signal was so bad. I had to near enough walk all the way through Stanley Park just to get flipping signal.
I had to walk from outside Anfield all the way to Bompan, which is like a dead nice restaurant down in town. It took us like I'd say like an hour or 2 hours to get there.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk it, you can get to Anfield from town in about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Or just literally get the bus. There's literally a bus that will drop you outside Anfield anyway.
Yeah. I forgot what number it's called actually, you know.
So
yeah, it goes directly from the where the gallery is, like the art gallery and the museum, right at the top. They all come there, don't they?
Yeah, because they're all owned by a stagecoach. So and plus you can pre-book tickets, which I think is good.
Right, I'm gonna make a move. Yeah.
But yeah, big up to Uncle Man. Are you gonna do a deadline day stream?
Yeah, I probably will actually. You know, I probably will.
Do a deadline day stream.
That'll be a Monday.
If you're doing that Friday night show, Friday Night Vibes, I'll be free this Friday.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout if it's gonna be done. Yeah, you know I'll give you a shout anyway.
Yeah.
I'll give you a shout.
Yeah,
all
you're
right,
doing any content today?
See you later,
No, not today.
No, day off, yeah.
No, because I'm going out.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I'm going out for this dinner and dance thing, so I've got to be there about 6. So yeah, no content today, but tomorrow.
Yeah.
But bless up one
love.
love.
Have a lovely birthday tomorrow as well, man.
Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow anyway. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah,
100%. We'll talk tomorrow, but yeah. Big up, Sonny. I'll speak to you guys soon. Yeah, bless up.
Yeah, big up. Did you see Solo Channel saying? No, I've not seen it. Big up the chat, man.
Yeah, that's going to be an absolute bear pit, that when you go to Newcastle, mate. Honestly, that's going to be a good one to watch, that.
I'm literally going to do a live stream at 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning, so I can get a stream in. And then I'm just going to get ready, have a couple of pre's at home, and then head up, because it only takes about 3 hours-ish. So I'm going to set off about...
Yeah, it's like practically by Scotland, isn't it, Newcastle?
Yeah, so I'm going to set off about 12 o'clock, and I'll get to Newcastle for about 3.
I've only ever been one time. It is good, Newcastle. It's a good day out, like, to be fair.
I don't mind. Newcastle is a city. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Mark Guehi going ballistic at the ref. But yeah, man, it's been a good stream, man. An hour and 45 minutes. Chat 83 likes. If you're watching back on the replay, let's try and push for 100 likes. If you are new, make sure you are subscribing to the channel, because we're on the road to 2.2k. We're 10 subscribers. So if you've not yet subscribed, make sure you've hit the subscribe button to get me to 2.2k, and make sure you've hit that like button. Let's try and get as close to 100 likes in the stream and if you're watching back on the replay as well. Sonny, when are you gonna start your channel, mate? Before we wrap up on that, the people want to know.
I'm basically close to doing it now. I've been like saving up, obviously, to get a computer, and I've got like money ready now, and then I'll get paid again soon. So when I get paid again soon, like it'll be like in a couple of weeks, I'll have like enough to. I've been asking N90, you know, a little bit of advice because he's quite good with tech stuff and that, you know, like what's the perfect computer to get and just stuff like that. Really, once I've got my computer, then I'll be doing it then, and I've got my gimbal. I'll be able to do it outside as well. So even if I do go, because I travel quite a lot, so I'll be doing ones outside as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. 110%. Yeah, you'll always be welcome on the channel anyway, anytime. And yeah, big up the chat, man. Good stream chat. I'm gonna do a transfer video tonight, so any like transfer news, I'll upload a 10-minute vid. And I might do a match reaction because I want to start doing more match reactions of the games. Like, do you know how I do hate-alongs and stuff? I want to start doing those with match reactions as well. So we've got some of those coming out over today as well. So yeah, big up the chat. Hit the likes on your way out. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you drop a subscription to Uncall as well. I'll put his link in the description. And yeah, big up for Sonny, mate, for coming on, man. Good near enough 2-hour show, mate, today.
Anytime, brother. Anytime you need me, you know, I'm there always.
Yeah, man, 110%. Big up the chat. Hit the likes. Have a blessed week. Big up to Uncle as well, man. And yeah, Isak and Guehi this week. Well, I guess we're going to have to find out. Big up.